That was crazy because he just dropped in out of the blue. I had no idea.
Maybe he was like jiu-jitsu stalking you online or something.
No, he said that none of the schools really was working for him, but actuality it kicked him out. Because I know the schools he was going to before. He was one of those just trying to find a free place to roll. Was it gonna do that?
Oh yes.
Whatever.
The next one is French Canada BB drop-in.
Okay, that guy. All right, this guy. He contacted me via email. He was from Canada. He said he was a black belt, and he said, "Can I drop in a class?" I said, "Okay, but there is a drop fee because I don't want any freeloaders again that just come train free and doesn't have any intention of joining." I said, "So visitors have to pay a drop fee." "Oh yeah, that's no problem. Pay the drop fee. And my wife's a purple belt, I'm a black belt, and we'll be more than happy to pay a drop fee." So I said, okay. So set up the day he came, I welcomed him and his wife. They did the class, they did the open mat, they did the rolling. So I politely said, okay, how do you want to pay now? That you've done the class, you enjoyed the rolling, you enjoyed the people. And he's like, oh, I actually forgot my wallet. I go, what? Like, I just messaged you the drop fee that you wouldn't mind paying. He goes, yeah, but it's in the hotel room. You know how it goes. Do you have any type of like a Venmo or PayPal? But we don't have that in Canada. But I'll do like a Cash App or something. Okay, so I gave him my information. He's kind of like disappointing because I showed you a good class and you had fun and you promised to pay me. He goes, yeah, you know how it goes. I'll take care of you when you come to Canada. You know, I'm a really cool dude. I have my own dojo in Canada, and he's all kind of making. I'm not gonna go to Canada. I'm trying to run a business. He goes, okay, I promise to pay you. He's like French Canadian. I will pay you. Don't worry, Mike. And the next day he never sent any money, and the next day he didn't send any money. And then on top of that, rolling, he wasn't really a good black belt. Like, my blue belt was kind of destroying him. So I was like, well, okay, I don't consider him a legit black belt. Because a real black belt wouldn't do that to a fellow black belt. Okay, in principle. But also in technique, he wasn't at a black belt level. So that was a real sour taste in my mouth with visitors. I've had a couple other visitors that did similar things, but I always be like, okay, fine. Now I would charge up front. And guys that assume that they're gonna be free, no, I said on the email, it's a drop-in fee. And they leave. I don't intend on running a free school because you can't make money if you're just free. That was that with that French guy.
Now upfront money, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Next one, no D engineer lessons WWE.
Okay, this guy was an engineer. He was from California, and he was one of those, those Tesla driving engineers making six figures in San Francisco area. Very rich, very posh kind of guy. And he wanted to take private lessons, so I said okay. And he wanted to learn no-gi, so I did. I showed him a couple of lessons. He did pay up front. And the first lesson went okay. The second lesson, we started to roll, and he headbutted me inside of my closed guard. So I kind of like dodged his head because he came at me to like headbutt me. I got clipped. So I looked at him puzzled, like, was that an accident or something? So I'm facing him again, and then he winds up and goes head straight again. right? But this time I'm really aware and I hold him in like a clinch, like a Thai clinch. He's struggling to get out and I'm holding his head down and he's trying to headbutt me from here in my guard, like trying to ram his head to my face. So I told him, that's not allowed in jiu-jitsu and I don't know why you're trying to headbutt me, but one, that's against the rules and that's sort of like you being a dick, straight up. Why'd you do that? He goes, oh, that's what I learned in wrestling. Oh, wrestling? Yeah, they teach us to use our head. In a headbutt? He goes, yeah. I go, okay, you're not permitted to do that in jiu-jitsu. And you clip me, so I have like a lump on my eye, like a black eye. And I think you owe me an apology. Like, I'm trying to help you, man. He goes, okay. He didn't apologize. So he just looks at me like, what's the big deal? So what? So okay, now you're clear, no headbutting. Let's roll. So I roll with him, and I put a lot of pressure. I put my head in his face. I didn't headbutt him, but I put my head under his chin, and I just grinded his face into the mat with the top of my head, and I put extra pressure that made the rolling miserable for him. You know, he tapped from pressure. So I gave him some really hard knee on bellies, head and arm, and I just squeezed the life out of him with my head in his chin. So he didn't like that. He kept tapping. I said, oh, what's wrong? He goes, oh, I just don't feel like it's fair. Like, what do you mean not fair? You headbutt me, and now I'm rolling with you with more pressure to teach you a lesson. He goes, yeah, but I don't really feel I'm learning anything. I'm teaching you a lesson. So we kept rolling. And the third row, he quit, and he left. He never came back.
So did he think it was fair for you to receive a headbutt over and over?
I guess in his point of view, headbutts were fair.
As long as he headbutts you, not you headbutt him.
Yeah, and until I warned him. Right? But I didn't headbutt him. That's the point. I never did headbutt him. But I did make it extra miserable for him. It wasn't a playful round. He kind of sort of cried and just walked out.
I don't remember seeing that at WWF. Well, maybe they did. But it was fake.
Yeah, he was one of those I'm too smart engineer, because he claimed he studied jiu-jitsu and he knows no-gi from just studying online. One of those experts, I guess. But when it came to rolling, he didn't have the skills. In his brain, he thought he had the knowledge. So, never came back.
What's stoner slip-up?
Okay, this guy was a stoner, and he was one of my most bizarre students I ever had. Okay, it kind of started when he took my slippers and left his. You know, after we train, we have our slippers by the mat. And I find, like, where's my slipper? Some guy left his slipper, which is bigger, and he took my slippers. I didn't know who it was. So a week later, that stoner guy comes and I see my slippers. So I go, who brought my slippers back? And he said, oh, I didn't know. I go, one, it's a different brand, different color, your feet's bigger, and you stretched out my slipper, and I had to buy new slippers. He goes, where are my slippers then? I'm like, bro, you don't even feel any, like, bad that you did that to me? Like, 1 week, I'm looking for my slippers, you stole it. He goes, well, I brought it back, so now give me my slippers. Just like that, right? So anyway, he had a pattern of not being the brightest bulb in the room. Like, he was really, like, missing a few screws, literally. But he was a lab tech, so he did have a degree. He had a legit job. And the funniest story about him was, I was teaching side control,